All right. Wanted to make a new video blog. This is 9 months after my last video. That video is private. I'm not making that one public because of the level of um, anger that was in it. And I want to follow up with this video to kind of help people understand. The title of that video was Refusing to Quit. Um, and during that time, I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit really bad. And I refused to, and I stuck with it. And um, this video I wanted to do as a follow up to that one for myself. But for others, this one I'll probably make public because it is about how to get through those times and how to come back to jiu-jitsu, or how to come through a tough time in your journey. And there are different reasons that people get frustrated in their journey. I believe, just a synopsis of the last video that won't be public. It's too personal. But I was very frustrated about some basic stuff that was going on at my gym, and instead of, it wasn't about my jiu-jitsu progress. It was interesting because usually, you get frustrated with your jiu-jitsu progress. That's what I've noticed. Like I'm getting beat, or I'm getting tapped, or I'm going through a tough time. I'm not understanding something, and that is, I would have to say that would be one of the main frustrating things that happened in your journey. Then there's this random one that came along about 9 months ago, and it was just like a domino effect of negative things that were happening at my gym that I'm at 7 Gen that I'm at, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. Um, at the time, it came through at a rough summer at the gym. I saw so many of my friends. Like, one thing about me is I brought so many people to the gym I'm at. Like, I know it might be weird. Like, so like you bring a friend that comes to the gym. There was 20 plus people at my gym that were either brought by me personally or brought by one of the people I brought, and they're also my friends. So all these people are like a core group of people that every time I show up to the gym, 4 or 5 of these dudes are there. Because not everybody comes every night. There were sometimes all 15 of them were there, or 20 of them were there. But I remember a time when, I would show up, 4 or 5 of these dudes are there. They're your friends, they're your buddies. You're training together, you're learning together, and it is just an amazing time. And it was an amazing part of my journey. And I noticed about 9 months ago, I started seeing all these people tailor off. They started going to other gyms. They quit jiu-jitsu altogether. Life things happened. And they all just start falling away. And it was such a hard time. And to see, and not just that, then there was guys I made friends with at the gym that weren't from outside the gym. And they started leaving. And so now they're all gone. And I think a lot of people who are higher belts, like Coach Bernard, Coach Dave, from our school, they'll like, let's think about it. Are there anybody at 7th Gen Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that used to train with those two guys that they train with, and they're all their good friends from 20 years plus of doing jiu-jitsu? No, it's just those two guys. So I think it's part of the journey. Not everyone does jiu-jitsu for 20 years, 20 plus years, and people go different ways. And using them as an example, it's you just stay with it, and in the moment, it's hard. It's hard to say goodbye to friends. It's hard to see them go, and then you feel like your core group's kind of gone. You feel like support at the gym kind of goes, and it was a rough time. And at the same time, like I had a professor that I got really close with at the gym, and he quietly left the gym, no issues, didn't blow it up, didn't do anything crazy, didn't steal a bunch of students and rip our gym apart. Wasn't anything like that. He quietly went on about his way, but that was somebody I really got along with, respected, and learned a lot from. And he was a friend of mine. He still is a friend of mine. But having him not there, teaching some classes every week, that was frustrating too. And then that was about 9 months ago. That was kind of, it happened before that, but that was leading up to like dominoes. And so all these things are going on, and it's all these negative things happened, and I let it bug me. I let it get to me. I started taking so many things personal that were happening at the gym, the smallest slights, not rolling, not training, stuff that was happening during cleanup, comments that are being made, offhand by people that just used to roll off my back. They were funny, ha ha ha. Now they're starting to bug me. Now it's not funny to me anymore because I'm not exactly having the time of my life with all my buddies anymore. It's me with, these are my jitsu friends, but my core group's gone. And I have to build a new core group. And looking at all that situation was really rough. And so at that time, I believe I was a 3-stripe blue belt 9 months ago, and had been a 3-stripe blue belt for like a year or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, so that's enough about that. So that kind of gives you the basis of what was going on. So now, how did I deal with that? Because I'm still doing jiu-jitsu. I'm still at 7th gen Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm still training. I'm still getting better. I'm better now than I was 9 months ago. So, yeah. So, some stuff I did that really helped me get through that time. I started really looking at jiu-jitsu from enjoying jiu-jitsu as it is, and the social hour that it was for me, I had to put aside and really focus on jiu-jitsu and getting better at it and having fun with it and expanding my game. And I really made that my primary focus. Just focus on the jiu-jitsu, let the other stuff go, and start having fun doing jiu-jitsu. Like, again, but I used to have fun with jiu-jitsu because jiu-jitsu is fun, and all my friends are there. The friend's gone, that cut the fun in half. So I had to find a way to make jiu-jitsu more fun and love it more. Love jiu-jitsu more, not just the camaraderie. And so I did that, and I started getting into different parts of the game, stuff nobody was doing. I talked to my coach about getting into some, buying some tutorials that I thought would be kind of fun part of a game, just kind of like get me excited again. And he was cool. He was awesome about it. He really liked what I was looking at. I looked at, like, if you jiu-jitsu people, I was looking at worm guard, lapel guards, galaxy guards, and all those guards they're really fun. They're hard. Like, for me, they're really hard to do. I bet other people could do them really easily. But for me, they're hard and they're challenging, and I'm still working on them. I still, on open mat day or a day I'm working in my garage with my wife, or I'm just messing around, I am immediately working on that guard. I think it's so much fun. There's 2 versions that I do. I'm trying to learn more of them, but I think about this one. I'm on a video that, I've done this video for 9 months when I started doing it. 9 months ago, I started looking at it, and I got through one of the videos for introduction to worm guard, lapel guard. That one I really like. I've really worked on my guard there. But then the next one I started working on a few months later was galaxy guard, and that one it still is a trip. Like, that guard is cool. It's hard. It is hard for me. It is such a challenge. I get beat all the time because I'm trying to do it, and basic 1-stripe white belts can just tear through it because it's brand new to me. And so, not anymore though. I've gotten better at it. But I remember that part of the dream, like, dude, I'm getting my butt kicked trying to do this. Guys are foot locking me, and but I got pretty good at it, because I'll give you a hint. I got really good at it, and there's purple belts that are getting so mad at it, they're starting to toe hold me. And if you don't know jitsu, I'm in gi, I'm a blue belt, and they're getting mad, so they're toe holding me, which they're not even allowed to do till brown belt. So it's starting to work. Because if I'm pissing people off enough that they're having to go to illegal moves to get me in a roll, it's starting to get good. So you can see where, look at my face. Like, you can see I'm getting excited about jiu-jitsu, not just, the camaraderie. Um, and so I still have friends at the gym. I still love my gym buddies. I do, but it's not the same. It isn't, and I've had to accept that. And maybe someone's going to go through that, and they realize you just have to accept that. And people are going to come and go, but just stick with it. It'll be good. Like, there's still negative things going on in my gym right now, but I'm stronger than I was 9 months ago because of what I went through. So the stuff going on in the gym right now doesn't bug me. I'm still wanting to train. I'm still, you know, thinking about, I'll do some private lessons. Or I'll do some other things. I watched this podcast somewhere that my coach was doing, and Coach Dave's talking about doing private lessons. I'm like, dude, I'll do some private lessons with Coach Dave. That sounds awesome. So there's just so many things we can do to have fun through tough times in your journey. If your school's going through tough times, um, man, and dude, imagine this one: your school closes. What are you gonna do? And so, like, that's always a fear I have because my coach said I'm only gonna do this for so many years. We're past that year point at my gym, and so I've always worried. When is he gonna close the door? Right? When is he gonna close that door? And am I gonna be in a bad point in my jiu-jitsu journey where I walk away from jiu-jitsu? And I finally feel like no, I wouldn't, because I'm no longer love my school. This is all positive towards my school, but I love jiu-jitsu more than I love my school. Meaning that if my school closed, I love jiu-jitsu enough to find a new school. I love jiu-jitsu enough to put myself back out there and go somewhere else and go through getting to know a new professor, getting to know a new system, getting to know new stuff. Like, I love jiu-jitsu enough to continue. And that's where I'm at. So, if you're going through tough times in your jiu-jitsu journey, and it has to do with your school, and I've seen people quit, they leave the school, they go other places. Okay, fine, you do that. That's whatever you want to do. Grass isn't always greener. I don't know. I've always been taught that. But for me, my thought process was, okay, so if I love jiu-jitsu and I start looking just at the jiu-jitsu itself, my jiu-jitsu and my journey, it is so much more fun doing it that way. And I don't care what happens. I'm helping other people at my school. I'm helping run fundamental classes. Sometimes I show up and I'm the highest belt rank, or I'm I am a good coach. I coached water polo for years. I actually am a good coach, and so sometimes there needs to be a coach, and there might be a purple belt that isn't as strong coaching, and I help run the class, or I'll take over and do the class, and the purple belt's totally fine with it because they're not really into coaching, and they're more private. So all respect to them, but it's just sometimes coaching's a different beast. Like tonight, I think I'm going to run class. I don't know. So I'm excited for this part of my journey. I did get my fourth stripe on my blue belt in January. My coach was, I was my game. My game in January, I think right now would beat my game. Like, this is the first time I think I did a video where I'm not as good as I was 4 months ago. I was really nailing things 4 months ago, and I've kind of walked away from some of the stuff I was doing. I've got a little more basic with some of the stuff. I wanted to work on more fundamentals in my game, which is good. But sometimes when you got to go back and work through things, you'll take a step back in your game, and that's okay, because I'm going to get better at these fundamentals I'm working on, and then I'll go back to the game I was developing, and I'll be better from that. Something else I've gotten really good at lately in my jiu-jitsu journey is my wrestling. And this is because I spend more time at a wrestling school recently for like the last year than I have actually at jiu-jitsu. So my son is aspiring wrestler, wants to do really good in wrestling. So I've got him into clubs, camps, all kinds of stuff he wants to do. And I take him to these and I sit there, and I've started to just sit there and see what I can take and develop into my game. And that's been fun. So I have a lot more rest. So I don't know. Am I better than I was 4 months? Yes, I am. My wrestling is significantly better than it was in January. I can do some pretty cool wrestling things. Some takedowns. My takedowns right now are better than they were in January. My guard's not as good. But my takedowns are better. My top game's way better. I mean, you turtle on me, like you're gonna feel some Division 1 wrestler techniques that I've learned from some amazing wrestling coaches. That'd be like Jake Ladd. I've been to his camps. I've been to camps with Kai Dill, Anthony Montalvo, Jason Kraft, just to name some of the coaches my son's been working with, and they're all phenoms. Like to me, they're all the top wrestlers coaching in the country. I just named them, some of them. You may not know the names, but if you know Central Valley Wrestling in California, Buchanan, Clovis High, you know those names. Those are the guys that are training those wrestlers. And so that's the information I'm getting and what I'm learning from them. And they're totally cool when I ask them questions like, how do you do this? And then they actually tell me how to do it. So it's been good. It's been good. So very positive. I'm not letting the egos in the gym, the personal relationships in the gym, the inner circle at the gym that I'm not a part of, things like that were really bugging me 9 months ago. I don't care, because it's loving jiu-jitsu. You don't have to love your school, love jiu-jitsu. And I do love my school. This is for other people who are struggling with their schools. So now if you're getting abused and actually like horrible things are happening to you at your gym, or guys are hitting on you, or you're put in really weird situations, unsafe things, leave your fucking gym. That's different. But I'm talking about, just conflicts with personalities, stuff like that, or you're dealing with, people leaving, like mine was mainly about, or progress. You're not making progress. Well, then talk to your coach about it, get some tutorials if you need them, and have some fun. Like, take a break from your game and add something new. I don't know. Have fun with it. That's what you're supposed to do when you're, more of a hobbyist. For competitors, God, work with your comp coach and keep being psychopaths like you are. But for me, just having fun, just having a good time. So I hope this helps if anyone watches it. If you went going through a tough time and you want to hear how someone that's gone through it. I even got one other thing that happened during the 9 months. There's about a 3-month period, like February, March, and April. It was like March, April, May this year. I don't know why that mattered. But it was like a 3-month period where I really struggled to get into jiu-jitsu. And it wasn't, I had some severe, I was really confused. I had some severe chest congestion issues that weren't going away. I had to go to multiple doctor's appointments. I could not figure out what was going on with my lungs. Ended up with pneumonia like twice. It was like a constant bronchitis that wouldn't go away. Finally got my doctor to prescribe me, basically, like, I have asthma. The best way to describe it, I have like a version of asthma that is like constantly causing bronchitis and causing these issues. And I haven't coughed this whole video. I couldn't go like 2 or 3 minutes without coughing, and that was like during that time. I'd have fevers. It was nuts. So I feel a little bit better. Go back to jiu-jitsu, do 2-3 classes, and then get sick right away, like right again, and be out for 2 weeks. So it was really hard 3 months. It wasn't a 3 months where I took a break from jiu-jitsu and I was just gone. It was 3 months where I could only get in once or twice a month, and because I just was so sick. Reached out to my coach. And he, just like, no excuses, you should be here, kind of mentality, which is fine. I did the best I could. And I'm proud of myself because I didn't quit. I could have just walked away during that time, but I didn't quit. I still tried to show up when I could. When I felt good, I went. And when I finally got the right medications, and it was like towards the end of May, I came back. I'm there 5-6 days a week now, training hard. Making up for the time I missed. That's how I feel. And trying to get back at it. So sickness can throw you back. Like I'm not joking. Right now I have a broken foot. Really fucked up my toes. And I was at the river. I was doing something stupid, and I fucked up my toes really bad. I can barely walk on my left foot. You think I've missed class? No. Have I taken some break from rolling until this thing heals? A little bit, yeah. But I'm still in there. I'm still drilling. I'm still teaching. I'm still doing what I'm supposed to do. Same time, this last month or so, I had a wisdom tooth break the tooth next to it while I was rolling. So that must have clenched really hard. Had to get both of those removed. So I have like massive trauma over here. And I still went in, trained. I couldn't do any rolling because it could pop the um, the clot out and cause this like dry socket thing. So I had to make sure I was careful. But I still taught classes. I still had a lot of fun. And so um, when you're not sick, you're just like kind of injured. It's you can get in. And so I realized that like injury versus sick kind of sucks. But injury, get in there. Like just do what you can. Like I remember one of our coaches, Coach Randy, and this dude at one point was just like he broke both. I think both his ACLs were out, both his shoulders were completely shot, and he's still showing up, and he's just a turtle on his back, and he'd still kick the shit out of you. So, um, injuries are injuries, man. But I'm happy that I'm in there with a broken foot. I'm in there training and figuring it out. You can't do anything about broken toes; they just hurt. So, just waiting for them to heal up, ice them, but. Um, it's been cool. My wife still doing jujitsu. She's a competitor. She's okay. Just you mean her. She's a competition blue belt. Um, goes to quite a few competitions a year. She's getting ready for. She wants to do IBJJF Masters next year. She's just a different level of jujitsu than I am. Um, like she is there. Well, we're there about the same amount right now, but she consistently trains all the time. And now where she's really taking her game to the next level is she's starting to look into her nutrition. She's finally listening. Not say she's listening to me. I'm a big fat guy, right? I know what I'm supposed to do to be healthy. I just don't do it because I'm a lazy piece of shit. But my wife isn't. My wife is so dedicated, works so hard on it. Today's our 13th wedding anniversary. And she is no doubt like the most disciplined person I know. Like this is the amount of calories she's going to get, this is the protein she's got to get, and I had to argue with her about her protein content. She starts upping her protein. All of a sudden she's like, "Oh, look at me, I'm getting a six pack." I was like, "Yes, it's different. Like it's macros and just make sure you have the right macros and you're going to look good and you're going to feel good." And so she's getting stronger. She's training. Her anniversary gift was a bench, so she has a bench she can use with incline decline. And so she wants to start training on like Saturdays with me at the gym I go to get me training a little bit more. But I really focused on jiu-jitsu. I've kind of walked away from the weights a little bit. I want more jitsu because it's more what I want to do. It's more fun right now. So, but I'm gonna get in there and work with her so she could do that with me and have a good time. But she's getting in this crazy shape. She's gonna get jacked doing what she's doing, and she's gonna get ready for some comps. And she already was winning. I think she got gold at JJWL. Her last time she went, she like either gets like second place. She went to IBJJF. I think she got second, and she had like a good bracket. And then she went down south and she did open. She got second. Then she went to the open division and got second against the open. And there was I'm not talking like there's only two competitors. Like she had multiple people she had to go up against and beat. And so even at JJW when she got first, she had to beat, I think there was like 2 or 3 girls in her bracket. She had to beat all these people. And she's doing really good. And so for the comp side of jiu-jitsu, maybe one time I'll get her on here with me and we could talk about comp jiu-jitsu, like competing more, which I did as white belt. I did it a little bit as a blue belt. Not really my thing right now. I don't know. I'm lazy. I'm being lazy when it comes to comps. And I kind of feel like I'm moving more towards, why don't I compete? That's for another video. Why doesn't Lee want to compete anymore? It's a great question. Probably because I have so many freaking gold medals growing up, and so many sports I played, and so many things I did. Like I been there, done that. I don't know. Maybe that's it. But it's I just want to train. But for people who want to compete, awesome, do it. Like have a great time. So maybe one time I'll get her on here and have her talk about her competitions with you guys, and you can kind of see that side. All right. So for those needing to get through tough times, focus on the jujitsu when it's stuff that isn't involving jujitsu that's bugging you. That's the thing. Focus on jujitsu. Find something new in your game you want to work on, and just focus on that, and you'll get through those times. I'm not saying I'm this purple belt and I'm going crazy. I think I'm on my 3rd year anniversary of my blue belt when I got it, but I got my blue belt pretty quick, and I'm totally cool with my journey being where it's at because it's making me love jiu-jitsu more, and I don't want to be a purple belt that quits, because I didn't. I don't know. I don't know why purple belts quit, but lately I've been seeing a lot of purple belts kind of like drop off, and the ones that are staying, the ones I noticed that are staying are the ones that were the blue belts for quite a while. I think Kale's a blue belt for a long time. Spencer's a blue belt for a long time. And I noticed something. They're still around. They're still training. The ones that went through blue belt pretty fast, they're not really around. So, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you appreciate the blue belt. You appreciate the purple belt more because of the blue belt journey. And if you had a rough blue belt journey, and it was a long one, and there was a lot of things that happened, gym stuff, and there was, your game, people, all these different things that are going on, and you persevered through that, then, what's going to stop you as a purple, right? What's going to get in the way? If you've had to deal with all these things as a blue, and you still are doing jiu-jitsu, what's going to stop you as a purple? So maybe it is a good. My coach is. I've listened to his podcast, and he really talks about the blue belt being a long journey. And guess what? My coach's blue belt was like 5 years long. My other coach's blue belt, I think, was like 5 years long. Dave and Bernard. And the guys with these long blue belt journeys, look, they're still doing jiu-jitsu 20 years later, and they haven't quit yet. So maybe there's something to being a long-term blue belt and being really good for your future of jiu-jitsu. Because you're only a blue belt once. And you gotta enjoy that journey, and that's something that I've learned to appreciate. And talked to a couple of the guys at the gym. I think Josh Leroy's one that I love that guy. And one thing he said was, he's just accepted the fact that, it's no longer about the purple belt. It's no longer about that part of the journey. It's about the blue belt and just enjoying being a blue belt, not even caring about the belt and just having a good time. And that was something that we talked about, and it's helped me because that's what it is. Dave in today's podcast I listened to, Coach Dave said, like, why do you care? They almost want to get rid of the belts. If you get rid of the belts, and then we allow these people to just drop their egos and just roll and have a good time. And he said, there's a reason we have belts and all that. And he's not like against belts, but he said it'd be nice sometimes just to not have to deal with the belt stuff. So I think that's pretty cool, and I can see where that comes from. So just get through the journey, focus on the jiu-jitsu and falling in love with the jiu-jitsu that you're creating for yourself, and have a good time. So hope that helped me. I'm still doing great, still want to train, and I think I've gotten through a weird time of jiu-jitsu these last 9 months, and it's good. All right, later guys.